Welcome back to In the Cards and Stars. We're talking about Zara Larsson's birth chart. She demonstrates why looking at your rising sign and your Venus sign are so important for branding, how you present yourself, how you dress. And then we're also going to be looking at timing in astrology because Zara Larsson is one of those pop artists who was in the game for a really long time. And wouldn't you know that on the eve of her Saturn return, she has this amazing comeback. So we're going to be looking at Saturn in her birth chart and why we have to trust the timing of our lives. So let's get into it. Looking at Zara Larsson pre her viral moment in 2025 with the dolphins. I just want to be part of your symphony. What really stuck out to me was her Virgo rising. Let me insert that here.
People are like, how does it feel when you're 18 and so successful? I'm like, well, I've been not successful for 18 years.
You can tell that she's a Virgo rising because you can see that in her eyes, she does not see herself as successful. She is kind of downplaying herself a little bit. This is very, very much young Virgo energy. And this is sort of a cycle that all Virgos go through. And I can say this as a Virgo sun. Virgos really do have to come into their own in life. Once they do and they stop being so hard on themselves, they get into this like healing energy where they can really just be themselves, very down to earth, authentic, and like they just thrive. I see that with her so much. And not only does this have a lot to do with her personality, but your rising sign talks about your first house, which is how you present yourself. So if you're an artist, this is going to be like your branding, what you wear, the kind of color palette that you use. And the key here is to blend your rising sign's energy with your Venus sign, because Venus kind of gives that, cherry on top, that sweetness. Venus is going to add the element that's going to make everybody want to look at you. Before like this meme, she was very much solely in her Virgo rising energy, and she dressed in more like muted colors. There just was this like lack of whimsy. Virgo is very beautiful energy. I think that people with Virgo placements like Virgo risings, they have this sort of innocent look. It's like if you look at even Dolly Parton, even with her body the way that it is, like her aesthetic is very overtly feminine, but she has this innocence. There's just something about her, like there's just an innocence that Virgo risings have. So then we see that her fans kind of picked up on something that maybe she hadn't yet. She really deep down is this like whimsical Barbie fairy princess, Malibu Barbie energy. And that is very Aquarius, because Aquarius is like not of this world, the astronaut, ethereal, kind of an exaggeration and a caricature. Aquarius likes to be a little bit out there, futuristic, fun, ruled by Saturn and Uranus. It's like the element of surprise, something a little bit unconventional, or you put a little twist on things. And so the Y2K aesthetic and the fun, colorful, over-the-top energy where she really does look like this like Malibu Barbie, when that was combined with like the Virgo attention to detail, repeatability, she finally created this brand identity that people could replicate and that became very recognizable with, the rhinestones and the bright colored eye makeup, the Tarina Tarantino necklace. Fun fact, you guys, this is an original Tarina Tarantino artifact from, the first time it came around in the Y2K era. Well, I'm an Aquarius rising, okay, so I can't help it. So this is actually vintage Tarina. Oh my God. That jewelry was everything. And it was fun, and it was whimsical, and it's very Aquarius energy. So Aquarius risings, Aquarius Venus, if you were there, you probably have the same necklace. But for Zara, once she started embracing this, we see this transformation, not only the way that she's dressing, but really like with her personality. It's like she just fully opened up. And the reason that I think people love it so much and it's really resonating is because it's truly authentically her. Now, I wanted to look at why this happened in the way that it did. Like I said before, she has been performing from the age of 10. She won her first talent competition in Sweden. She has an amazing voice. She started there, went to LA, was on like this reality show about people trying to make it in Hollywood. And at the very tender age of, I think she was like 13 at this point, she had this realization that she wasn't going to get signed. People in LA didn't really know what to do with her. It was like she was before her time. And she was ready to go, by the way, like Virgo rising, Capricorn 5th house. The 5th house, as we know, is creativity, the performer, associated with being on the stage, also associated with childhood. So to have Capricorn in your 5th house, it's like you come out of the womb ready to work, baby. And you love it. It's what you live for.
Jag är 10. Jag brukar alltid sjunga. Så ja, det är bara något jag gör. Det bara kommer automatiskt.
Hon börjar sin dag med att sjunga i badrummet och sen hålls det på.
Jag har sjungit sedan jag var jätteliten. Jag började när jag lärde. All the mother beauty that possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's shadows. If I fail, if I succeed, at least I live as I believe. No matter what they take from me, they can't take away my dignity. The greatest love of all it is to learning to love yourself. It is the greatest love of all. And if by chance that special place, find your strength in
She was like ready, raring to go, and the world was like, hold on, we aren't ready for this. We don't know what to do with you. So at the age of 13, and with that Virgo rising that can be so self-critical, especially in younger years, she sort of already had this kind of damper on her aspirations. From what I could tell from the interviews, it really was hard for her. It was like she felt like her career was over before it began. Then we see her put out some songs and she is always kind of in the background. Virgo risings have to do this slow burn thing where they have to become very confident in their own gifts. At that point, they stop being overlooked. I think it's like a lesson learning thing. The universe like wants you to find your own specialness. If you have Virgo placements, or just look at where you do have Virgo in your birth chart. We all have it in one of the 12 houses. Look at that placement for you and ask yourself if this was true for you. Like, did you have to kind of glow up at some point in this area of your life? Did you have to learn to like love this area of your life, love yourself in this area of your life? And I would bet you money that you did, because it's just like a universal thing. Virgo has to grow into themselves. So she just had to grow into herself. It wasn't to hold her back or because she wasn't good enough. It was because she had a lot of developing to do. Wherever you have Capricorn in your birth chart and Aquarius, which for her, that rules her 6th house of work and day-to-day activities. I mean, you guys, you can't make this stuff up. And she has a stellium in Aquarius and 2 planets in Capricorn. Both of those signs are the late bloomer sign. Virgo is the sign of self-love, and that's her rising sign. Also, her north node is in her 1st house in Virgo, meaning she really has to learn to embrace who she is.
What changes, though? Is there something tied to your Saturn returning?
Maybe. Could be that. I feel like I'm a different person. Like even now from a year ago, like when we started recording, and like, yeah, and for my last album, like I have just realized so many things.
She just now has started her Saturn return. She has Saturn in Aries. Your Saturn return is where you have to come into your own. This is when it all comes together. Saturn is like, okay, you've been growing, you've been working hard, you've been being tested. When you look at your Saturn themes, you don't just want to look at where you have your natal Saturn placement. For her, like I said, it's in her Aries 8th house. But you also want to look at the zodiac signs that are ruled by Saturn in your birth chart. So for her, that would be looking to Capricorn and Aquarius, which is in her 5th house and 6th house. So the themes of the 5th house and the 6th house tie into her Saturn return as well. The sign of Aries is about being an individual, owning your truth, being yourself, standing up for yourself, being who you really are. And the 8th house is like transformation, death and rebirth. On top of those already like weighty themes, the 8th house also rules contract and how you share energy with other people. She talked about how in the very beginning of her career, she just sort of listened to everybody else. And I think that's because she was in such a hurry with her Virgo rising, Capricorn 5th house. She wanted to like be successful now. She wanted to win now. And, you know, Capricorn is where we want to be successful. We want to have a legacy. We want to make the money. We want to be recognized. And so she wanted that like right away in her 5th house, you know, in childhood. So I think that she was pushing for that. And she talks about how she just like listened to everybody else. She was like, these people know like what's right. These people have experience. So she didn't write her own songs in the beginning. She just was sort of like the backup person or like the person that was accompanying other people. She just wanted to perform. She didn't put her own voice into the mix. She didn't have her hands in everything. Well, the 8th house wants you to show up as well because it's about contracts and agreements. And you can only have a healthy contract or a healthy agreement with somebody else if you guys are equals, if you're on an even playing field. Well, with Aries also ruling her 8th house, Aries is about the individual, being yourself. So there's this combination of energies for her. If you stand up for yourself in these rooms, you're going to need to be authentic. You can't shrink yourself. The more you listen to other people, the less likely it is that you're going to be successful there. And it's like she realized that. It clicked for her. In the most recent interview that she had on the Zach Sang show, she talked about how she has decided that she's going to be in every room. She's now writing songs. It's like she fully has embraced that Saturn responsibility.
I get to decide like what's gonna happen in every single, like in every little decision, in every little creative thing. It's like I have to be in there so it could be me, because if it's not, it's just this thing that surrounds me. But I think, yeah, because I got signed so early, I just never fully realized that it has to like come from me, because I was surrounded by so many, I feel like I've spoken about this before, but like I was surrounded by so many talented people. And at that point, you just trust everyone, you know, and they were so good. But I never felt like, also I didn't write back in the days. So I never felt like it like the seed has to be, I have to plant the seed. And now I feel like I am so hands-on in everything.
It's like she fully has embraced that Saturn responsibility. And she just now started her Saturn return. This is going to be a career and identity turning point for her, where things are going to get very real. It's going to happen fast. And you guys, it's being kicked off right now during this Aries stellium. Like, mark my words. Is she going to announce something? Saturn return, quick fact check, you guys, just in case we need a refresher. Saturn return occurs between the ages roughly of 28 to 30. This is when you come face to face with where you've been avoiding responsibility, if you have been, or where you are now taking on more responsibility. She did just like buy back her master's not too long ago. So that is definitely 8th house contracts, themes, power, ownership. Maybe she's going to launch something else or put something else out there. But this is really going to be a period of time for her where she is owning her brand, her likeness. She's going to be going big or going home. And I think she's going to be going big. This is also where you're meant to like step fully into your authority, especially for her with Aries being part of her Saturn story. This is also for her about not playing small or being unclear. She has to be very clear about who she is, what she stands for. And because Saturn does what it does, there will be tests along the way. So she will probably get some pushback at some point from executives or labels. Like there's going to be some sort of pushback. Maybe she's going to go more independent and we're going to see an announcement of that. I will be staying tuned because I think she's fully going to step up to the plate and I think she's going to be loud about it. Another thing that I thought was really interesting was her 11th house ruled by Cancer, containing the moon. So the moon is at home in Cancer, and the 11th house is like your audience. If you're a celebrity, it would be like your audience, your group. The moon is about nurturing, being nurtured, deeper emotions, love, healing. She gets a lot of emotional nurturing and love and really needs that from her audience. I think that she is happiest when she is performing for her people that love her.
I love to bring people up on stage. I do that like plenty of times in my show. My favorite is the Lush Life section where somebody comes up, they sing the song with me, we vibe. Then one girl in Amsterdam, she came up and she knew our choreo, which was like so shocking to me. And ever since she entered the stage, her name was Julia, the bar has been set. So now I just expect everybody to come up and know the choreo, and they do. They really do. So that's one of my favorite moments. You know, it's been so incredible to see that people are like dressing up for the occasion. That has always been my dream.
That's just really sweet to see because I think that's super authentic with the moon in Cancer in the 11th house. So a lot of really loving vibes towards her fans. Also, the Aquarius stellium is interesting. She has Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus in Aquarius. I also think this is part of the branding success because Jupiter makes things grow. Uranus is at home in Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius. If she continues to package it in this Aquarian energy, I mean, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, like that's going to continue to be beloved by people. With Venus, people are going to be attracted to it. With Jupiter, it's just going to make her fame grow more and more. People are going to love her more and more. And then Uranus is technology, and Uranus at home in Aquarius. It makes sense that the viral meme is what brought her here. I mean, that to me was such a confirmation of like, wow, astrology's real. You know, that's amazing. It's so cool. I think her dreams are going to be manifesting more and more rapidly while Saturn is in Aries for the next 3 years. So we're going to keep an eye out because I think it's just she's going to grow and grow and grow. Okay, let's pull a card for her. I think we should pull a Britney Spears Oracle card for her just for fun. And let's see what Zara Larsson's Saturn Return energy is bringing her. What's the Britney Spears archetype for Zara Larsson's Saturn Return? The snake charmer. Ooh, look at that. Oh my God. Okay. It's giving pure Britney Spears performer energy. Wait, look at the outfit. Okay, this outfit is totally something that she would wear. Oh my God. Zoom in, zoom in. I can't take it. Out of all of the Britney Spears cards in the Oracle deck, like this is the one that actually is like Zara Larsson outfit wise. With the little beads and the jewels. I kind of can't get over this. This is crazy. Maybe she's going to have like a Britney Spears snake charmer moment. All right, here we go. For Zara Larsson, her Saturn return over the next 3 years, Britney cemented her pop goddess status at the 2001 MTV Video Music Awards with a performance of Slave for You, filled with rolling thunder, sparkling jewels, and a 7-foot albino Burmese python named Banana. Halfway through an elaborately choreographed routine of body rolls and intricate arm movements, Britney draped Banana over her shoulders and took a walk around the stage without missing a single beat. Even if you're not carrying a snake on your shoulders, the snake charmer reminds you to face your fears and look inward to find confidence and strength when all eyes are on you. This is 8th house energy. Aries 8th house. So Aries is like, yeah, you have to be you, even if you're the first one to do something. You're actually meant to be the first one to do something. You're meant to do things on your own. Wow. It's giving greater independence and leadership. Oh my God. Okay, and I'm going to watch her documentary. I can't wait. Okay, guys, I love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with me. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you agree? Did it resonate? Was there something I missed you guys want to point out? I always love your astro tea as well. Okay, love you guys. Talk to you soon.